Hello again, I'm Greg. Welcome back to my channel, Midnight Oil Software, where I talk about digital art and game development using Unity. In the past stream, I started taking you through the process of how you can publish a game from Unity to the Apple App Store without a Mac. And we went through a lot of the procedures for creating a certificate, a mobile provisioning certificate that you can use with the Unity Cloud build to sign the app so that it can be published to the Apple App Store. Unfortunately, as you can see from what's on the screen right here, the app uploader program that I use to upload to the Apple App Store is giving me a lot of grief. It's free for a year, and then it is $30 a year thereafter. And I have purchased the activation code, which should let me use it for another year, and it keeps telling me that it is expired. So I'm trying something different. As you can see, I've got a build here running on Unity Cloud Build. And what I've done, I found this GitHub repository with a post build script that you can add to the Unity Cloud Build, which will, using your Apple credentials, push this build directly to the Apple App Store, theoretically. So I have edited my build, and I added that post build script here. So basically I went into my app and I added the post build script to my project under assets_project. And by the way, I got this idea, I think it was Jason's story that suggested that you put all your project specific code in a folder called _project, and that way it always gets sorted to the top of your assets. And then other things like third-party assets that you plug in or pull in will get displayed below it. So anyway, I did add that post-build script. I pushed those changes to my repo, and I kicked off a new build, which is going to take a while to run. But when it gets done, hopefully, with any luck, it will have pushed that build to the Apple App Store. But in the meantime, while that's running, I thought that I would show you a prototype that I'm working on for the next game I want to write. I want to do a full-fledged, from scratch, from the ground up tutorial for developing this game. But the game is based on an arcade classic called Star Castle. So Star Castle, you had these concentric rings. Let me turn my volume down a little bit. And there I got killed. Boom. So the base that we're fighting against has these concentric rings that rotate in alternating directions. And in the center of this base, I've got a laser turret that fires. It will follow the player and shoot at the player. So if I stay still, I'm going to get killed, obviously. So I have to fly around and... I got to move quicker than that. So you can see that the shield is segmented, and it takes multiple hits to destroy a shield segment. And there's multiple layers to the shield. So there's an outer layer, a middle layer, and boy, that's hard. So anyway, this is the prototype for a game that I want to write for scratch. And I'm using an asset pack that is free. It is called 2D Space Kit, and you can get this from the Unity Asset Store for free, and it's got some really good graphics. The base graphics, the ship that I'm using, all of that stuff came from this asset pack, and even these background images, the sun, the planet, and I'm doing something a little bit different for what's basically a top-down game. I'm using Parallax. I don't know if you noticed that. So if I fly around in this scene, I want you to notice how the planet and the sun and the star fields are on different layers. And so you get that nice 3D depth field as I'm flying around. There's some dust layers there. I like the particle effects for the engine, the thrust. And so, of course, the idea is I want to try and take advantage of the hole I've already created in the shields and shoot the next layer through that. And I gotta keep moving so I don't get shot. Oh, I've got a hole. If I can just get some shots through it. Ah. Boom. Oh, the other thing I made it, I kind of made this sort of a cross between Star Castle and a Mega Race. If you ever played a Mega Race, you know you're in like a fixed area and you can bounce off the walls. So I thought I thought that would be kind of fun. Oh, and when I get killed, I repair the shield segments. I need to probably not do that. But anyway, you get the idea. I was hoping I'd blow up the ship so you could see how that works. Oh, I did add something else to this. I want to have pickups, power-ups that the player can pick up to give them some boosts. So, for instance, if I pick my ship here after he spawns, you'll see right now I've got a single turret. Well, what if I turn on double turrets, turn off single turret, and unpause the game? Now I can throw a whole lot more shots at them and blow them up pretty quickly. So I envision being able to pick up a power-up that will turn on the double turrets and maybe have a delay, you know, so you don't get them forever, but maybe you get double turrets for 30 seconds or something. But anyway, if you think that's a cool idea, I'm going to be doing a separate tutorial of developing this from the ground up. I'm going to show how I did the parallax background. In fact, I'm going to do a separate video just on parallax. So I've got the star field, dust clouds, the sun, and the planet. So if I turn the star field off, you can see they're on a layer. The dust clouds are on a separate layer. The sun is on a separate layer. And then the planet is on a separate layer. And all that looks pretty flat 2D, unless, of course, you look at it in perspective mode. And then you can see everything on its own layers in 3D. So doing parallax, basically adding a parallax script to these guys with a certain parallax effect amount, it gives you that illusion of depth when you're flying around. So I thought that was kind of cool. So parallax is not just for side-scrolling 2D games. It can also work for a top-down game like this where you want to give it some depth underneath your platform. So let me go back to my Unity Cloud build and just see how that's looking. It's been building for 5 minutes. So I did go into App Store Connect and I added a new version. So this version will be version 3.3. Right now, there's no build for me to select for that. So after that build post, hopefully it will show up here. Let me move that over to another screen so I can log in. Yes, so I am waiting for that build to show up. Got a lot of old versions there. So I'm afraid I'm going to probably have to cut this live stream short. I don't know, I guess I could tell a joke or something while we're waiting. Building for 7 minutes. What else can we talk about? Well, if you haven't already, you could click that like and subscribe button. Drop me a chat if you subscribe to the channel, and let me know if there's any questions or suggestions. Somebody wrote, Hydro, can you give me an account with FNAF? I don't know what that means. What is FNAF? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what he's asking there. But yeah, if you have a question or a comment or a suggestion, drop me a chat and I'll respond as soon as I can. And yeah, so coming up, I plan to do a tutorial on Parallax. I plan to do a from the ground, from scratch tutorial of writing the Star Castle game, which I'm probably going to call Space Fortress. And I think it would be fun to take it all the way to being able to publish it. So that prototype that I have there, it's got some music and stuff that I don't think I could distribute, but I did go to freesound.org and download some stuff that we could use for free. And so if you haven't checked that out, I do recommend freesound.org. You can get lots of free music and sound effects there. So I know I found some good sound effects for like lasers. So yeah, I mean, you can find lots of sound effects to add to your games. And most of them are under the attribution non-commercial, so, or just attribution. So this one, basically you can use it commercially or non-commercially as long as you give attribution to the author. There's other Creative Commons. You can just use it for free with no attribution. You don't have to give any credit. So make sure if you do download any of these that you check and see what license it's under. So make sure that you don't get into any trouble for copyright claims or anything. But yeah, there's lots of good music up here, lots of good sound effects, and most of it is just free to use. Some of it is free to use if you give attribution to the author. So let's go back and look at this build again. It's still building. One thing I did do, which I had forgotten to do in the last stream, was in the tutorial here, I had forgotten to turn off the controls for WebGL. So as you recall, it was showing the thumbstick, or not thumbstick, but the keyboard controls and mouse controls, which are only for the desktop and WebGL version. So the iPhone version, I did not want to show those. So obviously I wanted to turn them off. Didn't want to turn that off. And so, yeah, I submitted those changes, and they'll be in the new build that's building right now. So when I publish this to the App Store, you won't see those confusing controls on the tutorial. But we can maybe give this a little play while we're waiting. I can go into my scenes, the title. Always takes a while the first time I play it. There we go. So go to my mini games, Egg Patrol, and see how far I can get. Oh, of course it's going to be difficult to play without the keyboard. Oops. Yeah, that's really, really hard to use a mouse to jump between these controls. But there we go. It works. Okay, go back and check that build again. Success! So let's keep our fingers crossed. I want to go look at that. I did not mean to open that. I accidentally clicked that from my taskbar. View details. Something went wrong. What went wrong? Well, obviously, that's a problem. Yep, that's a problem. So unfortunately, it does not look like that worked. Yep, I do not see my build. Okay, well, I'm going to have to diagnose what's wrong in that bash script. Clearly, it did not upload the build. So it said it couldn't find the build. So that must mean that it has a different name than what the bash script is looking for. Or there's something wrong with the location there. So once again, we are foiled in our attempt to get this build uploaded. I will check my email real quick to see if support for that app uploader tool has gotten back to me. It does not look like they have responded to my last email. Yeah, so I think I'm going to end it there for today. I apologize for all the little hiccups and glitches and getting this thing deployed. When I do get this process working again, I will probably put together a shorter, more succinct tutorial with the whole process, just so it'd be easy step-by-step follow instructions for somebody looking to do this. But anyway, if you did tune in, hopefully you enjoyed at least a little bit and found at least a little bit useful. And I hope you'll come back and check in again later on my future videos. So thanks so much for watching and have a great day.